Hey everyone, welcome back to Genai Tech News. We are kicking things off today with a massive story for the autonomous vehicle world, because as TechCrunch is reporting, Tesla, Uber, and Waymo have all just received the go-ahead to operate Robotaxis in the state of Nevada. And we're not talking small numbers here. Together, these permits could allow up to a staggering 8,000 driverless vehicles to hit Nevada roads over the next 12 months. That's 8,000 Robotaxis from three of the biggest names in the industry, all approved in one shot. This is a huge moment for autonomous transport. For Waymo, this builds on momentum the company has been steadily building in cities like San Francisco and Phoenix. For Tesla, it represents a major regulatory win for its long-promised autonomous ride-hailing ambitions. And for Uber, it signals the company's continued push to embed self-driving technology into its existing platform. Nevada has clearly positioned itself as one of the most AV-friendly states in the country, and this approval is proof of that. Whether or not all 8,000 permits get used is another question, but the door is wide open. Keep your eyes on Nevada, folks. The Robotaxi era is no longer coming. It's here. All right, next up, and this one is going to get people talking. ChatGPT now has the ability to send text messages on your behalf through Apple Messages. TechCrunch broke this story, and yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like. OpenAI has rolled out a new Apple Messages plugin that essentially turns ChatGPT into your personal automated texting assistant. So instead of typing out a message yourself, you can have the AI draft and send it for you. Now, on one hand, this is genuinely useful. Imagine delegating routine follow-ups, scheduling confirmations, or even heartfelt birthday wishes when you're slammed at work. On the other hand, this raises some pretty interesting questions about authenticity. If your friend replies to what they think is your message, are they actually talking to you? Or to an AI speaking in your voice? It's a blurry line. The integration slots into Apple's existing Messages app, making it accessible to iPhone users without jumping through major hoops. This is part of a broader push by OpenAI to embed ChatGPT deeper into the apps and platforms people already use every day. Love it or find it a little unsettling. This is the direction things are heading. The AI isn't just answering your questions anymore. It's handling your conversations. Sticking with the AI theme, new data is showing that OpenAI is making serious inroads against Anthropic when it comes to business users. According to TechCrunch, fresh market data suggests OpenAI is gaining significant ground in the enterprise space, a segment where Anthropic's Claude models had been winning fans. But here's the really interesting twist. The data also shows that businesses are more than willing to jump ship back and forth as each company releases new and improved models. One quarter a company is all in on Claude. The next, they've switched back to ChatGPT. That kind of volatility tells us something important. Enterprise AI loyalty right now is basically non-existent. Companies are chasing performance, not brand. And that should genuinely worry investors in both camps. If your entire growth thesis depends on businesses sticking around long-term, and they're actually behaving more like bargain shoppers switching to whatever's on sale, that's a fragile foundation. For OpenAI, gaining ground is good news, but holding it is going to be the real challenge. The AI arms race at the enterprise level is very much still anyone's game. Google is making a pretty significant change to how its Discover feed works, and The Verge has the details. Very soon, you'll be able to customize your Google Discover feed simply by describing, in plain language, what you want to see. The new feature, rolling out to the Google app within the coming days, uses AI to automatically tune your feed based on your description and then remembers your preferences going forward. You'll find the option tucked inside the three-dot menu on your feed. So instead of the platform just guessing what you're into based on your browsing history, you can literally tell it, I want more space news, less celebrity gossip, more Android updates. And it adjusts. This is a smart move by Google, merging the conversational nature of AI chatbots with a product that hundreds of millions of people already use daily. It makes the feed feel less like an algorithm working in the dark and more like a personalized assistant. Of course, the flip side is the usual concern about filter bubbles getting even more intense. If you can dial in exactly what you want to see, you might end up only ever seeing exactly what you already agree with. Still, as a pure usability upgrade, this is a genuinely useful feature. Okay, let's shift gears to gadgets, because Genki just dropped something genuinely wild. As reported by The Verge, the accessories company has revealed the Manta, its very first controller designed entirely in-house from scratch. And the thing that immediately jumps out? There's a large 2.9-inch LCD screen built right into the middle of it. The thumbsticks and face buttons sit above that screen, giving the Manta a chunkier, more unconventional silhouette compared to your standard Xbox or PlayStation controller. But beyond the screen, the Manta also features adjustable and customizable buttons, so you can actually remap and configure the layout to match how you like to play. This is Genki's big swing at standing out in an increasingly crowded controller market. You might remember Genki collaborated with 8-Bit Do on a gamepad a couple of years back, but the Manta is their first completely original creation. Whether or not that big screen proves to be a genuinely useful feature, or just a flashy gimmick, remains to be seen. But you have to give them credit for trying something different in a space that doesn't see a lot of genuine innovation. Now for a story that is equal parts fascinating and unsurprising. The enhanced games, that controversial sports venture that allowed athletes to use performance-enhancing drugs openly, has posted a $60 million loss. TechCrunch is reporting that the company's grand experiment, to essentially reimagine competitive sports through the lens of biotechnology and, yes, steroids, has not exactly translated into financial success. The concept had Silicon Valley buzz when it launched. The idea was provocative. Let athletes use whatever they want, remove the doping restrictions, and see what the human body is truly capable of. Some tech figures and investors were intrigued, but the audience apparently wasn't large enough to make the numbers work. A $60 million loss is a hard reality check. It turns out that building an entirely new sports league from scratch, especially one built around a concept that's genuinely polarizing, is extremely difficult even with venture backing and a flashy pitch. Whether the enhanced games tries to pivot, raise more capital, or quietly wins down remains to be seen. But for now, it stands as one of the more expensive lessons in the not every disruptive idea works category. Across the Atlantic now, and to a story that touches on data privacy, government contracts, and regional autonomy. Wired is reporting that Greater Manchester has become the only region in England actively resisting a sweeping UK government healthcare data contract with Palantir, the controversial American data analytics and AI company. While the rest of England is being onboarded into Palantir's NHS data infrastructure, Greater Manchester is arguing that it can build and manage its own health data systems more effectively. The region has a track record of running its own integrated healthcare tech programs and says it doesn't need, or want, Palantir in charge of its patients' data. This resistance comes as broader calls mount across the UK to cancel or at least rethink the Palantir contract entirely, citing concerns over data privacy, sovereignty, and the involvement of a U.S. company with deep ties to American intelligence and defense communities. It's a debate that goes beyond software contracts. It's fundamentally about who owns and controls some of the most sensitive personal data in the country, your health records. Greater Manchester's stance is bold, and it's drawing attention. Whether it inspires other regions to push back remains to be seen. And finally, a cybersecurity story that is a genuinely clever and dangerous piece of social engineering. TechCrunch is reporting that an unknown hacker or group posed as a representative of a well-known cryptocurrency news outlet and used that fake identity to lure multiple cybersecurity professionals into a trap. The bait? An invitation to a cryptocurrency conference that didn't actually exist. Once researchers engaged, the attackers used Google Docs as a delivery mechanism to push malware onto victims' machines. Think about how effective that is. Security researchers are already skeptical of shady links and random downloads. But a Google Docs link from someone claiming to work for a reputable crypto media brand? That's a much harder thing to immediately distrust. This attack is a reminder that even the people whose job it is to catch these kinds of tricks can be targeted with well-crafted social engineering. The fake conference premise adds a layer of legitimacy that makes the lure far more convincing. If you're in the security space, or really any professional space, and you receive an unsolicited invitation from someone you don't personally know, verify independently before clicking anything. Stay sharp out there. And that's a wrap on today's Genai Tech news. From 8,000 Robotaxis hitting Nevada roads to ChatGPT sliding into your DMs, it has been one packed news day in tech. If you found today's coverage useful, do us a solid. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Drop your thoughts in the comments, especially about the ChatGPT texting thing. Are you into it, or does it give you the creeps? I genuinely want to know. Thanks for watching. I'm Genai, and I'll see you in the next one.